One of the men who helped create artificial intelligence now believes it could escape our control. He spent decades teaching machines how to think, and now he's worried they might learn too well. His name is Geoffrey Hinton, and this is the story of the warning we heard, but chose not to slow down for. Artificial intelligence is everywhere now. Some call it the greatest invention in human history, others call it the most dangerous. But long before AI became a global conversation, one man was already uneasy, not because he hated AI, but because he understood it better than almost anyone alive. So who is Geoffrey Hinton? And why did the man who built the foundations of AI start warning the world about it? Geoffrey Hinton is often called the Godfather of AI, not by the media, by the scientists themselves. He helped invent the neural networks that power today's artificial intelligence, the same system that we use behind chatbots, image generators, voice assistants, recommendation algorithms. In 2018, he won the Turing Award, the highest honor in computer science. For decades, his work was ignored. But when AI finally took off, Hinton was no longer just a researcher. He was a witness to something growing faster than expected. What most people don't know is this. For years, Geoffrey Hinton was an outsider. In the 1980s and 90s, most computer scientists didn't believe in neural networks. They were seen as slow, unreliable, and useless. Hinton didn't agree. He believed intelligence didn't come from rules, but from learning. So he kept going, teaching machines to recognize patterns the same way the human brain does. For a long time, almost no one listened, until suddenly, everything changed. In the early 2010s, computers became faster, data became massive, and Hinton's ideas finally worked. Neural networks began outperforming humans at tasks like image recognition, speech understanding, and pattern detection. Companies noticed. Big companies. Google hired Hinton and his team. AI research exploded. What once took years now took weeks, then days, then hours. For the first time, machines weren't just following instructions, they were learning. And that's when the excitement began. At first it felt like success. I was helping doctors, helping businesses, and helping researchers. But beneath the progress, Hinton noticed something troubling. The systems were improving too quickly. Even their creators didn't fully understand how they reached decisions. They worked, but no one could clearly explain why. This wasn't like traditional software. This was something new, something less predictable. And once a system learns on its own, we don't control every step anymore. Hinton began asking difficult questions. What happens when AI becomes better than humans? What happens when systems can generate ideas, plans, and goals without human supervision? He wasn't worried about robots attacking cities. He was worried about something quieter. AI manipulating information. And most of all, being used by people who don't care about the consequences. In 2023, Geoffrey Hinton did something unexpected. He left Google, not because he hated the company, but because he wanted to speak freely. After encouraging AI development for decades, he finally said out loud, "We might be moving too fast." He warned that AI could outperform humans in many areas. Coming from anyone else, it might have sounded like fear. Coming from him, it sounded like experience. So why didn't the world listen? The answer is simple: competition. When one company advances, others try to catch up. Slowing down feels like falling behind. AI isn't just technology anymore, it is power. And once something becomes that valuable, warnings become inconvenient. Not ignored completely, just postponed. Hinton's greatest fear isn't destruction, it's loss of control. A future where AI systems make decisions faster than humans can react. Not because they are evil, but because they don't care. AI doesn't understand consequences, it understands objectives. And if objectives are poorly defined, the results can be dangerous. Geoffrey Hinton isn't asking us to destroy AI, he's asking us to be honest about it, to slow down, to regulate, to understand what we are building before it becomes impossible to stop. He knows something many people don't. Once intelligence exists outside the human mind, there is no guarantee we stay in charge. The picture doesn't end suddenly, it shifts quietly. We like to believe that we'll fix problems when they appear, but with AI, by the time the problem is obvious, it may already be everywhere. Geoffrey Hinton saw this early, not because he feared technology, but because he respected it. The most unsettling warnings don't come from outsiders. They come from the people who helped build the system. Geoffrey Hinton gave us a choice, not between progress and fear, but between speed and responsibility. The question is no longer what AI will become, it's whether we are ready for what we have already started.